So my brand new Project 60 series is already having major issues. The 60 series has decided to crap itself. I am on the side of the road. Nah, which honestly not that surprising when you buy a car this old. But seeing as I spent all of this extra money buying one with a 12 HT with low Ks and what I thought looked in pretty good condition, it is pretty frustrating that I'm running into these major issues so early on in having the car. So the engine up here all looks fine, good, whatever, but coming down below, you should hopefully be able to see there is oil spill everywhere. I'm not even going to pretend like I have an idea where the oil is coming from. Looks like somewhere up behind the alternator, but that is a job that one of my friends is going to come over and help me figure out. But today's job first, to fill the car back up with oil and see if it's actually still working, because there's no point fixing the oil leak if the engine ain't working. So it all started a couple days ago. I was driving home at like 9 o'clock at night and all well, just cruising, and then all of a sudden I just heard really loud ticking, and I kind of thought that I'd ran over something on my tire, it popped and it was flopping in the mudguard, but that was not the case. I quickly popped my head out, couldn't see anything wrong with the tire, so I pulled over straight away, turned the engine off, and then got out, looked down there and saw the oil leak. Here's a bit of fun for your afternoon. The 60 series has decided to crap itself. I am on the side of the road and looks all good up here. Then you go to the bottom and that is a lot of oil. Somewhere towards the front of the engine you can see leaked from, not gonna focus, you get the point. Not fun. I had to get my girlfriend and her dad to tow me back home. And that leaves us to here right now. Hopefully we're going to fill this thing up with oil, start it, and there is no ticking. So in this video, we're going to be doing three main things. First, dumping the oil and pulling the oil filter and putting a new one on so we can restart the engine, but I want to check how much oil we actually lost. And then second, we are going to be cutting open the oil filter, which means I will be able to see if there's any metal. And then if there is a fair bit of metal in there, I'm going to be dropping the oil pan to see and inspect the lower end bearings. And so then by hopefully the end of this video, we will have a very good idea of what is wrong. If not, we will hopefully find it, which will make my life easier. Alrighty, so step one, I'm under here. I'm going to crack this and hopefully there is actually some oil in here. Oh, thank goodness. So this car takes 10 litres. I don't know how much this pan takes. So I might be having to try chuck this back in before it overflows. So it's actually a fair bit more oil than what I thought was going to come out of it. I'm just going to check the owner's manual, make sure that I'm actually putting in the correct amount of oil so I don't overfill it. So the best case outcome here is I fill it all up and nothing, well, it turns on and there is no knocking left, but I somehow don't think that is going to be my luck. Whose idea was it to get an old Landcruiser? I almost made a massive mistake then. I was just talking about the oil filter and then I almost forgot to take the old one off and put the new one in. Knowing my luck also, this one is going to be extremely tight. This oil filter is on extremely tight. I have one good crack with my hand. No chance. So a quick trip to the shops later. We have a proper size tool. So now hopefully this will be a quick and easy process. God, that boy's on tight. I'm pulling this thing pretty hard. Was on way too bloody tight, or it's just been so long that it feels way too tight, but I don't know. So I'm also going to pre-fill the new filter a little bit, just so it's not dry starting with nothing in there. I'm not going to do it all the way. Sure, you don't forget to put a little bead around the rim. Fresh filter going on. So while I fill her up with oil, I'm going to quickly talk about what the plans are for the next few videos. Pending this working, the next video will be the full underbody restoration, which I've already had part of it done, which is dry ice blasting. But there's many more steps to make it look brand new, which I will be doing because I want this thing to be schmick. And then pretty much the video after that will be getting into the maintenance type stuff, which is a lot of bushes, doing new CVs, bearings, all that kind of stuff. So that one could potentially be a bit boring because it's about doing all maintenance type stuff. and I'll have a mate here helping me. But if you want to see like any specific videos, let me know down below. Drop a comment, let me know what you want to see me do to it. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to need at least another little bottle, but first I'm going to check dipstick, get an idea of how much roughly was in that. I mean, it does say overfull, but I'm assuming it's okay. Okay, so we're doing the first test fire. All right, 3, 2, 1. Nah, turn off. Turn it off. So the plan is here, hopefully get into this, check if there is any metal in there. If there's not, then I don't know what the plan of attack is. And then if there is, we'll be dropping the sump. And hopefully there is no bottom end, no rod knock, because that becomes really expensive. Okay, after a quick trip to Bunnings to get some good tin snips, this will now hopefully work. So it's been like 20 minutes of absolute mucking around, but now I'm starting to make progress. So this whole thing has taken me way longer than I would like to admit. It's the scary part, the moment of truth. Hopefully there is no metal shavings in this filter. Oh no. Hopefully that is not. On that wall all there, I'm assuming that that is metal from something inside the car. Alrighty, there you go. Well, that is what the inside of the oil filter looks like. All right, so we are under the car and we are dropping this oil pan. I've actually had it off already and had a quick look, but I haven't actually spun the crankshaft and properly checked each bearing individually. So that is the task for right now. And the reason that I didn't spin it properly last time is because where the crankshaft pulley is, you need a 46mm socket to get on there and turn it, but I didn't realize you could kind of just grab the alternator belt, and on some cars I think you can just put the socket on the end and then spin it. I tested it before and I can just grab the belt and like pull it down and it spins the whole thing. Okay, so what we're hoping to see here is as I pull, they spin. Alright, so I've actually gone through already and checked them all, but I'm going to show you on camera, but it's pretty hard to film, so bear with me. So we have 1, 2, this is number 3, sidewards play, nothing, but then back to forwards. You can probably hear that clicking. It seems it's not supposed to be that big. Once again, backwards and forwards, and then side to side. And I've gone through and done the same test on every single one of them, and they all actually sound and feel pretty much the exact same. So I'm gonna go with, after we pulled one, which I'll put the footage up now, the other day, that they're all pretty worn and definitely in need of replacing, but I do not think that those are my issue. I've now talked to a bunch of people that have 12 HTs and 2 Hs, which is the same thing without a turbo. A lot of people have issues with the pistons. Some of them actually crack, and that's where all the metal's coming from. So I think now I have no other option but to pull the engine out of the car and probably start pulling it apart myself to diagnose what's wrong. And then once we figure it out, send it to a machine shop, get them to do the technical bits, and then I reassemble the final bit and chuck it back in there, which sounds kind of easy, but I guarantee in typical me fashion, it is never that easy. Alrighty, there you go, there you have it. The 60 is officially cooked. So this is where I'm asking for your help. No, I'm not starting a Patreon or something like that. All I need you to do is like this video, comment, and make sure you're subscribed, because the only way that I know that this build series is actually going to be worth fixing this engine is if people are following along and enjoying the series. Like if this video doesn't actually do somewhat decently, I am probably going to have to sell this because I just cannot afford to be fixing this for no reason.